What's going on, guys, and welcome to Formula 7 Racing. We are live here in the Gold Division for the Silverstone Grand Prix. Should be an absolute cracker. Why is the name for the stream coming up? Oh, there we go. Let me just do a quick sound check, see if it sounds okay. Right, we are good to go. Let me just turn that down. Thoughts on the British Grand Prix? I thought it was a really, really good Grand Prix for a change. Seeing so many British drivers do really well, and different British drivers leading the Grand Prix, and two British drivers on the podium is always going to be amazing, to be honest. But I thought Lewis drove incredibly well. I think Mercedes look amazing. I think Ferrari look really poor. And Sergio Perez, for me, to be lapped twice in a Red Bull, you can't do that. Yeah, did you go, Ulster? Yeah, it was amazing when I was watching it. So we are on board with some of the drivers. Bradders in the Alpine, reserving once again the gold driver, and we will be on board to see how he gets on here in Silverstone. Should be a crack of a race. Oh, he's let the Williams go, actually. And that was Maxi Block, it was. So the Belgian driver was not waiting for Bradders, and he's just gone past him and said, I'll take the lead here. So we will ride on board with the driver from Belgium for the first lap around Silverstone. Yeah, that's mint. That's class, that Ulster. So the Williams driver and Max Watt down in towards the arena section at turn 3 and 4. He's got the Alpine of Bradders right on his tail. Maybe a little bit too close here, Bradders. Has not given himself enough space to do a lap. But I think this lap is going to really benefit Bradders if he stays just about in the slipstream. Down in towards Brooklands and then Lovefield at turn 7 for the Williams driver. He has the Alpine right behind him as the Williams just breaks the air in front of him. It was Senjo with the first lap. So there's a few drivers already on laps. A 1:27.6 for the Aston Martin driver who's not had a good start to season 9. We do have a couple more drivers coming through as well. I think one of them is a Red Bull. That's F1 Lexi on and out lap. We will stay on board with Maxi Block. He's got the Alpine right on his tail and he's a lot closer now, so it's definitely benefited him. And if you watch here now, he's in the slipstream, he's got the DRS, he's burning that battery, he's getting closer and closer, and his lap is going to be a lot quicker than Maxi Block's here. If he hadn't have made that mistake, we're on board with Maxi, but we've seen the slip from Bradders behind as he came through Stowe. And he goes wide, that's an invalidation, and Maxi Block to the line. It's a 1:27.1 and it's provisional pole, and he did invalidate it. Jack in the Scuderia is just behind the Sauber driver of Henke, and into the pit lane he goes. But what about Jack in as the commentator keeps saying? Appreciate an invite. I'd appreciate an invite. Sarpo, you asked me for an invite 2 minutes after the race started, and I can't find you. There you are, you finally online. Yeah, I knew I had you as a friend. but it wasn't showing up online. TTL Nick in the RB, 1:26.1. He's a second quicker than everybody else. And here comes Reese. It's a 1:25.7 for the Williams driver. Sarple is in now. XD Paco in the Red Bull is coming through. We have a couple of Haas drivers. That's Ulster starting his lap, so is Strategy. And they're just moving out the way for F1 Lexi. He comes in towards turn 17 and 18 for the Red Bull. And F1 Lexi to the line he goes. And it's a 1:26.3. What about XD Paco, his teammate? I think the Red Bulls can get decent points here today with the calibre of drivers that they do have. Paco 1:26.0, and it's provisional front row. What about Dennis in the McLaren? As sorry, I was just saying the commentator today in on the F1. He calls it the Scarlet Ferrari every time he goes on board with Charles Leclerc or Carlos Sainz. He calls it the Scarlet Ferrari, and I get it if you're going to call it like, you know, the Scuderia or the Papaya McLaren, but not every single time you ride on board with it. So anyway, Dennis goes up to P2, 1:25.8. And Ulster is also on the lap, so his Strategy just in front of him. Remember, Strategy was moved up from silver to gold. And the Haas just looks a little bit sluggish through that final sector. Strategy to the line, that's quick, a 1:26.2. I said it looked sluggish, he proved us wrong. Bradders is back out in the Alpine now for another lap, and that was Ulster that came through and went up to P7, a 1:26.7. So it is down to Bradders in the Alpine. He's not going to have the helping hand that he had last time off the Williams, so he's going to have to do it the hard way. Down towards turn 16, over the curb at 17. You want to watch the back end here now. In towards 18, over the curb to the line, and it's a 1:26.7, and it's P8 for Bradders. Jeremy in the other Alpine is going to finally get a lap on the board as he comes down the straight towards Brooklands. The standings at the moment are on the screen if you want to see them. XD Paco leads the championship by 50 points. Lewis on 20, Reese on 18. Maxibot also on 18. It's very close behind. F1 Lexi on 15. Merckx on 15. Merckx is a reserve driver and he's on 15 points. Strategy on 12. Mr. Palm also on reserve on 12. Dennis on 12. Merckx is reserving again. Here comes Jeremy out of the Chapel section, down up towards Stowe we go, and the Haas driver just moving out of the way, just slips round Stowe at turn 15, and then down towards turn 16 for the Alpine driver. Can he get a decent time on the board? 8 minutes to go. Here comes Jeremy to the line. It's a 1:26.3, and I definitely think he's got a lot more time in there as well. It's all on an out lap. Merckx has set his lap. We've got the McLaren of Sarple as well coming through to set his first flyer with 8 minutes to go here in Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. Yellow flags waving. That'll just be drivers going a little bit slower to make way for the flying cars. B right in the Ferrari is right behind Sarple here. So hopefully the other drivers realise that there's two cars very close together on flyers here. But it is going to be Sarple through first, coming round. Luffield, oh, a slight snap out of Luffield. And down towards Copse he goes, but is that going to hinder him? And B Wright is now getting a little bit closer to that McLaren. He might benefit from this, but it might hinder him as well. We'll have to find out when he comes down the hanger straight. And it's the Ferrari of B Wright that will be right behind the Papaya of Sarple, but he's not caught up to him that much. So Sarple will make way And they both have them rear wings open as the DRS kicks in up towards Stowe. And then down towards turn 16. Oh, a slight mistake from the McLaren again. It's very tricky coming through that final couple of corners. Down towards the line, a B right 125.9, and it's P3. And Sarpo a 127.1, so he did make a few mistakes then. And he won't be happy with that. He really, really won't be happy with that opening lap. Sarpo is definitely a lot better than that. So Henke, who is your reigning world champion, has not got off to the best of starts. And also Sendro as well, who finished, I think, second in the championship. Henke just, I don't know what it is this season, but Henke is an unbelievable driver. Look, he's backed out again. He's backed out and he's just starting to feel it, but Henke is an unbelievable driver, but this season, he just seems to be really struggling to find his rhythm. And it's not going the right way if he wants to defend his World Championship. His 2 trophies have just arrived. They will be being shipped to Norway in the next couple of days. And Reese goes even faster, a 1:25.5 for Reese. We do have XD Paco coming through as well, I think. And XD Paco goes up to P2, a 1:25.6 for the Red Bull driver. F1 Alexi is going to be next, up towards Stowe. Yeah, definitely, Dennis. It's a very good lap with broken pedals. F1 Lexi. Oh, took a different line there, but it sort of paid off. He's going to come to the line, and it's P6 for the Red Bull, so P2 and P6 for the Austrian-based team. Bradders in the Alpine, he's on another lap. He's just struggling, Bradders. You can tell he's got the pace, he's got the speed, the awareness to get a decent lap in. He's just trying to find that edge. It's so close in terms of times between the drivers. And he went purple sector 2 then, so he is improving. Oh, that's going to be really difficult for you, Dennis, in the race. Oh, he's made a mistake. He's invalidated it. Oh, Bradders has invalidated it. And I think it is TTL Nick who's coming, but he's going into the pit lane. The Ferrari of Jack also into the pit lane. What about F1 Alexi? He's on an in-lap as well, so it looks like it is Maxi Block. And he's slightly down on his lap time as he comes in towards Maggots and Beckett. Sorry guys, just getting a drink. Right, so Ulster, he's invalidated it. A minute and a half to go, and he's going to have to build up that battery again. Cryptic Salt currently in P10. Jeremy coming through Maggots and Beckett, slightly down on his lap time. Oh, he's backed out. He's just building up that battery to go again. Every single driver on the grid on outlaps. The gold division is heating up. A minute to go. Everybody is out. We are about to find out who your pole sitter is here in Silverstone. We'll try and stay on board with the front runners. It is Cryptic Salt has come through Maggots and Beckett. Through Chapel and down the hanger straight we go. And as he comes slightly uphill towards Stowe. And then back down the hill towards turn 16. There's a lot of traffic in front of him. And he needs to be careful. The drivers need to be careful as well. They've left it really late with 20 seconds to go. Cryptic Salt is going to be his last chance to the line of 126.5. Stays P10. Maximock in the Williams is going to be next as well. Bradders is going to leave it very tight. And Maximock at 126.5 goes P11. Bradders 6 seconds to get to the line and just makes it. So we'll try and get on board with the leaders now. Jeremy has invalidated his final run. The checkered flag has waved here in Silverstone. Reese is not improving. It's a 125.5 for him. He's not been able to improve, but that's an incredible lap. B right, a 125.9 goes into the pit lane. So he's not going to improve either. Provisionally on the second row at the moment. Strategy. Oh, it looks like there's been some Ulster's crashed going into the pits there. And B right, B right's carried on. He went to go into the pits and then changed his mind. So I don't know what happened there. Sarpel is going to be next. He's got the Mercedes behind him. A couple more drivers to find out where they'll start in this Grand Prix. Sarpel goes up to P15. Merck stays P12. Then we've got XD Paco. You've got Dennis F1 Lex in P3 and P4. Dennis is coming through. XD Paco as well. Just coming out of Stowe. F1 Lex in B right. TTL Nick Henke goes up to P4. Back with a bang. Dennis and XD Paco. Dennis, the Belgian driver, is going to be first. Goes up to P2, but XD Paco takes it right back out of his hands. So that is it. Qualifying done here in Silverstone. Bradders is improving. He's going to be the last driver to get to the line. But it looks like Reese has got pole position once again. The two Alpines go P10 and P11. But Reese is on fire. He didn't need to improve, but it was very close at the top. So Ulster ran out of fuel. So Strategy in P5 as well. Yeah, for Lexi P6. Three-time Gold World Champion in P7. Jack doing really well in P9. So there you have it. Jack I know, yeah, Mercs. Reese takes pole position here in Silverstone. XD Paco will start on the front row of the grid with him. Dennis and Henke occupy the second row. An all-British third row in Strategy and F1 Lexi, B right and TTL Nick. And then Jack and Jeremy complete your top 10. I just need to get a screenshot of that. Bradders, Cryptic Salt, Maxibox, Senjo, Mercs, Ulster and Sarpel complete your 17 drivers for today's Silverstone Grand Prix. So formation lap is on. I just really, really hope that it doesn't happen again. What happened in bronze and all the telementaries disappear, because there's no way I can do another full race without seeing anything. That was really difficult, and Matthew, bless him, when he DNF'd, he joined the comms box and helped me do commentary. Told me, you know, who was pitting, the tyre wear, everything like that, who I was on board with. So yeah, to the rescue. Top 10. I'm going to go, top 10 is pretty much. There's a lot of drivers that have really good race pace and really good race IQ. So I'm going to go race winner Reese. I'm going to go Dennis in second. XD Paco in third. So I'm going to keep it the same three, but just Dennis and XD Paco the other way around. Fourth, I'm going to go TTL Nick. Fifth, I'm going to go B Right. Sixth, Mercs. Seventh, Jack. Eighth, Strategy. Ninth, Lexi. 10th, Sandro. That's my top 10 for the race. But just keep it clean, everybody. Have a really good race. Bradders, I'm hoping he has a good race. Bradders can rush a few moves. He's new to the league. He's a great driver. He's got a great attitude to racing. He just needs to make sure that he doesn't push when he doesn't need to push, and just be a little bit more patient. So if he does that today, I think he'll get a good points finish. But if he starts to lose his head a little bit and start to rush through the moves, I think we'll see him spin. But we're about to find out, because here we go. This is it. A lot of drivers at their home Grand Prix here in Silverstone. Here we go. And we are waiting for the 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. The Williams did get a really good start of Reese as he tries to cut off XD backwards to go in towards turn 1 at Abbey. It is Reese that stays in the lead. Dennis is right on his tail. F1 Lexi is already thrown strategies. He goes up the inside into the arena section. They're like 4 wide through turn 4 there. And as they go in towards the hairpin, XD Paco squabbling for position with Reese, but stays in towards P2. B Right trying to be attacked by the V-Carb of TTL Nick behind into the slipstream he goes. Bradders in the Alpine will try and look for a move around the outside. It's XD Paco and Reese chasing for the lead as the Red Bull driver. The Sauber on the back of the McLaren, that's Henke there as well. And then F1 Lexi and the other Red Bull will try and go for a move in towards Cops. They go down towards Cops, should I say. And it is side by side for F1 Lexi and Henke through Cops. And wide goes the Red Bull and the Sauber. F1 Lexi might actually get this move done. Bradders is front TTL, Nick the wheel to wheel as they go up towards Maggots and Beckett. And it is the Alpine that is in front and just blocks him off. Here comes Jeremy. He's got his teammate just in front of him at Bradders, and then he's got TTL Nick there as well. B Right is through on strategy. Maximot will go up the inside of Jack, and here comes the Haas trying to push his way through, trying to make a move there. And it nearly paid off for Oster as he goes back up the inside, clatters into the Ferrari. That was a really impatient move from Oster. He needs to be careful. Sarpol, the Romanian driver, is around here in Silverstone with front wing damage. XD Paco is into the lead here in Silverstone. Into the arena they go. At turn 3 and 4, it's the Red Bull driver that is your race leader. Reese chases him down. DRS will be enabled. He opens that rear wing and will retake the lead halfway through lap 2. But the Red Bull driver of XD Paco is not letting this go as they go in towards Brooklands and Lovefield. And it's round the outside. Goes to Williams. Jack and Merckx getting reacquainted with themselves. The two silver drivers. And that was a slight mistake by Senjo. That is Oster. Oh, he's had a collision somewhere because he's lost the position. But XD Paco and Reeks, what a race this is. As they go down towards Maggots and Beckett, XD Paco is back in front of the Williams. This is fantastic to watch. The Red Bull is now your race leader again as they come out of Maggots and Beckett and down the hanger straight. Reese will get that DRS again, and even the McLaren as well will try and make a move. That's Dennis that will take the inside line. And Dennis is now your race leader, but for how long as they get tangled up, the McLaren and the Williams, as they just squabble down towards Club at turn 16, 17 and 18. The McLaren just pushing out the Williams, and it's Dennis that really goes out wide. One of them would have got a warning there. Here comes XD Paco in the Red Bull. He's going to try and go up the inside into turn 1 at Abbey. You've got Henke, the Norwegian driver, in the Sauber there. You've got the F1 Lexi in the other Red Bull now. 5 drivers fighting for the race lead. And look at this. It's Reese that is your race leader again. And he did get DRS. And they are queuing up behind as they go down in towards Brooklands and in towards turn 7 at Luffield. Look at this racing. Beautifully executed. Some great racecraft. And here comes XD Paco again to try and take the lead. Reese in the Williams is trying to stop him, trying to defend, but there's only so much you can do. And XD Paco has made the same mistake again and gone for the overtake before Maggots and Beckett, which will give the DRS to the Williams. And he might even get overtaken twice again here, XD Paco. And here comes Reese in the Williams. Will take the inside line in towards Stowe. And Reese takes the lead again. And what about F1 Lexi and Henke? Into Vale and Club. And down towards turn 1 at Abbey. And Reese has now got a little bit of breathing space, which he'll be happy to see. So tyres, that's the tyres. Bradders and Cryptic Salt. The Alpine on the Mercedes, and the Mercedes is going to try and come back, but there's just no room for Cryptic Salt there. But he did well to save his race and try and back out of that move because he was not being gifted anything there. So, Reese, he's just in front of XD Paco. 4 tenths of a second separate the top 4 drivers. Henke goes wide. Has he opened up the door for the Ferrari at B-Right? He absolutely has, and B-Right goes into F1 Lexi. And B-Right in the Scuderia is round here at his home Grand Prix. Oh, that is so unfortunate for B-Right. He went for the gap. I don't know what happened. I don't know if that gap was closed. Hopefully the Red Bull driver doesn't have any damage, and the Ferrari as well. F1 Lexi is going to try and go for a move up the inside of Jeremy in the Alpine. He gives him the room. Great racing from Jeremy there. Henke with a time penalty. He has gone wide a few times already. F1 Lexi down to P7 after that collision with the Ferrari. But it is still Reese that leads. B-Right was in a great position as well. Maxi Block on strategy. Maxi Block's up to P8 now, but strategy is not going to let him go. Oster on Cryptic. The Mercedes driver is going to go around the outside of Oster. And that is XD Paco that is back into the lead of the Grand Prix. Into Luffield at turn 7. Oster and Cryptic Soul are having a good exchange here. And look at that. That is great racing. Cryptic Soul has evolved so much as a driver in such a short space of time. So Reese will have that DRS as XD Paco goes wide into Cops. Is Reese going to go for the move? He's going to hold off. He has Dennis right on his tail as well. We've got a Dutch driver, a British driver, a Belgian driver, a Norwegian driver, all in the top 4 here. And here comes Reese. on XD Paco. He'll go the long way round, but he'll make it look easy, and Reese back into the lead. Will XD Paco try and go for a move though on the Williams? He did, but he wasn't able to pull it off. There's still DRS all the way. Oh, Oster! Oster is round into turn 16. XD Paco will move back into P1. Incredible from the Red Bull. Down in towards turn 3. Now this is what you call racing. It really is. Only 6 laps in, and it's so enjoyable to see. And you've got Reese and XD Paco, the Red Bull and the Williams, and that is side-by-side racing. Oh, look at this cheeky little dive from Dennis down the inside, and he nearly pulled it off. Remember, he's on them mediums, so he will start to come strong now as the drivers in front of him on them softs. But Dennis is going to try and go round the outside of Cops, and he just has to slow down, maybe open the door for the Sauber and the V-car behind. But look at this, it is XD Paco once again that goes into Maggots and Beckett as your race leader. But it's going to be Reese that probably goes up to Stowe and takes it right back. It's deja vu every lap. And here comes Reese, who will go for the inside line on the Red Bull up towards Stowe again. And it is the Williams driver, but can the Red Bull maybe fight back a little bit? He's got the straight line speed as they go down into turn 16. And the Red Bull driver moves back into the lead. Reese with the switchback. Absolutely gorgeous racing, but on the limits of racecraft. You've got to be so careful, and that's exactly what these drivers are doing. And Dennis will look for an opening in the McLaren. Oh, he does look for an opening. He pretty much forces his opening, but very well played from the McLaren. And they will hit that DRS straight. XD Paco might be able to hang on. We shall see as he goes down towards Brooklands. The Williams just holding off as they go towards turn 7 at Luffield. It is the Red Bull of XD Paco that leads. Sarple in the McLaren just trying to box off some laps, because you don't know. All you need, if Sarple is at the back, if he's hitting really good laps on fresher tyres, if a safety car comes, you don't know what can happen in this race. We've seen every driver in the Silver Division finish the race today, which was the first time in 2 seasons we've seen 0 DNFs in a race. And it was a full grid of 20 as well. Here comes Reese again, and he's going to do exactly what he did last lap, but this time he's just slightly more in front. Is that going to make a difference? It is literally exactly the same as what happened last lap, but Reese just had a tiny bit more of an edge as he went down towards turn 16, and that gives the difference of whether he led the race into the next lap or not, and he does this time. We've got TTL Nick in the RB as well. The Red Bull of F1 Lexi. Oh, who's that that's made a mistake? It's TTL Nick in the RB that's made a mistake. He's opened the door for Jeremy in the Alpine, who goes round the outside. Jeremy with a move. And down towards Brooklands he goes. The Alpine driver up to P5. XD Paco. A cheeky dive down the inside on the Williams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drivers queuing up for the lead of this Grand Prix. Here comes Reese. Is he going to go for that move before they hit Maggots and Beckett? He does. XD Paco gifts him the space. Into Chapel and down the hanger straight. But look at this, Dennis got a really good exit out of Beckett's there. And they're going to go side by side. It's the McLaren as well now. And Reese might go down to P3. The Kick Sauber driver goes off the track. Reese, oh, Reese locks up in the Williams. Reese, your pole sitter, has locked up here at Silverstone in towards turn 16. He's just trying to get them tyres back into action. He's only in P9. It's not the end of the race for the British driver, but it's the end of his battle at the front for now. So XD Paco has Dennis to contend with. Henke up into the podiums by default. Jeremy having an unbelievable race in P4. Reese isn't that far behind actually. And I think without the battle of XD Paco, he'll be right back with that pack in a second. Which means, because it was his own mistake there, so as long as he can get back with the pack, he wouldn't have lost too much. He's just got to watch out for Cryptic Salt behind, who's going to have DRS on him. And Reese seems to be really struggling. Maybe them softs are starting to fall off. He needs to get into the pits and get some mediums on. So XD Paco will lead, but Dennis, for the second time tonight, will be your race leader. The first time was for a brief 5 seconds. This time it's going to be for slightly longer. And they all stay out for another lap. What about Reese though? Does he go for that cheeky undercut? He doesn't. He stays out. He knows the pack's there, so he's not taking any chances. But I tell you who is, B Wright, who has done a phenomenal job after that collision to get back with the pack. Yellow flags. And that is Sendro in the Aston Martin that has spun it. Sendro just not finding any help out there. Jeremy all over the rear diffuser of that Sauber driver in front. And he is going to go for a move, the Alpine. The Sauber just wobbling through Love Field. So Dennis is your race leader, and he's going to have the same problem that Reese had, and that's XD Paco. So B Wright has pitted, he's gone for that undercut, and let's see if that decision to do that pays off. Here comes XD Paco back into the lead for the Red Bull. I thought, oh, here we go. The drivers are pitting. XD Paco is in. Jeremy is in. So a few of the drivers stay out. Reese is in as well. So he follows XD Paco and Jeremy. F1 Lexi stays out. No double stops here. Double stacking here. Oster goes in as well. So does Jack. They need some quick pit stops here, the drivers. Oh, the Williams. Maxi block has held up Reese. I didn't even know Maxi what was in front of Reese, but that has cost him about 2 seconds. Reese is going to come out behind Jack, and Reese is now going to come out about 6 or 7 seconds behind Jeremy, behind XD Paco. Here comes B Wright, and B Wright with the undercut is in front of Reese now. So that undercut has worked for him. But he is still 4 seconds off Maximot, B Wright. But B Wright is only 6.5 seconds off XD Paco. And that is basically the provisional leader, really. That is yellow flags waving. That's somebody that's lost it. That's Cryptic Soul that's lost it through Maggots and Beckett. Cryptic Soul in the Mercedes, making a mistake for a really valuable position. That is a couple more drivers going into the pit lane. Henke's spun it. Henke has spun it at turn 16 right at the start of the pit lane. F1 Lexi is in. Bradders gets a 10-second time penalty for speeding into the pit lane. Everybody who knows me knows that is my biggest pet hate for penalties in Formula 1 is speeding into the pit lane. You don't save enough time to take the risk of just trying to speed into the pit lane. How much time are you going to save by just going them extra couple miles an hour into the pit lane to how much you're going to lose just going a little bit slower just so you don't get a penalty? It's just not worth it at all. And I absolutely hate speeding into the pit lane penalties. Sarpel has retired in the pit lane. He tried to keep going, hoping that a safety car come to his saviour, but it hasn't done. Dennis is staying out again. Strategy in P2. Dennis has made a mistake. Strategy is all over the back of him as they're going towards Abbey at turn 1. XD Paco is through on Senjo. TTL Nick being overtaken by Maxi Block and Jeremy, but he's going to try and fight back. Maxi Block side by side with Jeremy in the Alpine. He's going to try and lunge up the inside of turn 16. Maxi Block goes for the move. Jeremy leaves him the space. Beautiful racing. TTL Nick. Oh, how did he not take out Lexi there? Wow, what racing. What drama. Maxi Block is pushing Jeremy through the corners. Needs to be careful though. Such an exciting race. We are halfway through this British Grand Prix, but it is the Belgian driver that leads. Not too far is a British driver behind him though. And Maxi Block is through on Jeremy, down in towards Brooklands. The Williams up to P6. Oh, who's that in front? That is Sendro that's made a mistake. Sendro has stayed out on the medium tyres, and I think he's going to try and go mediums to softs and hope for a late safety car so that it can benefit him. But at this point he's losing a lot of time. Here comes F1, lets it in towards Maggots and Beckett they go. And then down the hanger straight will be next. Here comes Ulster on Bradders. F1 Lexi is through on Sendro. TTL Nick is also through. Jeremy makes that move on the Williams and Maxima, and the German driver on the Belgium. Reese, the pole sitter, up to P10 and gets a move on the three-time world champion. Bradders and Ulster. I think if Jeremy and Bradders were able to get a full-time seat, especially Jeremy, I don't think Jeremy's got a full-time seat, but he definitely needs to race here full-time because he's everything you would want in a gold driver. His standard, his race IQ, his spatial awareness, like everything I've seen from Jeremy, and I said it the first time I seen him race as well. He's so clean, and drivers like that you really enjoy watching because they're not bothered. You can tell when Jeremy's racing, he's a competitor, but he isn't going to lose a race over a scrap with another driver. He will happily take a loss into a corner. As the saying would go, he will lose the battle to win the war. He will lose that little battle with the drivers because he knows eventually he will get it back, and he's not worth defending for his life or pushing the other car to the absolute limits just to try and keep a position that he knows he can get back anyway. So it's just great driving from Jeremy, and I think a lot of the drivers will definitely like the way he performs. Henke is sped into the pit lane. Henke from P3 in this race has just got a 10-second time penalty. So XD Paco. Reese is still in P10. I don't know what's happened here. He was only like 6 seconds behind XD Paco. I'm just trying to figure out how much he's behind him now. He's about 4 seconds in it. You can see the smoke from the car in front. Be right, just trying to stay with him. Yeah, he's not too far from the pack actually. Henke is going to come out right in this battle of Merckx, Bradders and Ulster, but he will have a 10-second time penalty. Remember, this is how your standings look so far. XD Paco is the championship leader. Oh, Jack with a 3-second time penalty. Oh, a slight mistake from Jeremy in front, and Maxi Block has seen the door open right in front of his eyes. And the Belgian driver is back through on the Alpine. Belgium 1, Germany 0 for Maxi Block and Jeremy. And B. Wright and Reese, the two British drivers here in Silverstone, wobbling for P8 and 9. But Reese just staying in front of that Scarlet Ferrari. Bradders and Oster, the Alpine is through. Oh, the Haas has made a mistake. Oster has made a mistake in towards turn 16. 10 laps to go. It is Dennis that leads. I'm pretty sure Dennis still hasn't pit. He has. Dennis and Strategy have both not pit. This could be an amazing decision or a really poor one. Because the other drivers, they've done so many laps on their tyres already. So Dennis's strategy went for the mediums to soft strategy, where all the other drivers went from soft to mediums. So that's the reason they've been doing so well. Because they've still got 15 seconds. They've got 20 seconds to Jeremy. So here we go. Dennis and Strategy are both into the pit lane. Do not speed into that pit lane. And they don't. They're not going to take the chance when they're in such good positions. If Strategy pulls this off, what a race. Maxi Block and Jeremy once again. And what about F1 Lexi and TTL Nick? Wheel to wheel down towards turn 16. And Strategy has beat Dennis out of the pits. Here comes XD Paco. And this is going to be a lot closer. No, he hasn't. Dennis is coming out. Here comes Strategy. XD Paco is already rounding out of the pit lane. Maxi Block and Jeremy are coming through as well. They're going to be up to P2 and P3. TTL Nick. F1 Lexi. Here comes Dennis. Reese is in front of Dennis. So is B right, but I tell you what, Strategy and Dennis are in really strong positions here, but they've got to weave through a lot of traffic. But they are so close. Dennis and Strategy, let's have a look to the leader. They are 9. Oh, who was that? That was Bradders in the Alpine that slid off the track. Oh, that's really unfortunate for Bradders. Just got to keep his head down now and hope for something. But yeah, to the leaders, they are 9 seconds behind Dennis and Strategy, but they're on fresh, soft tyres till the end of the race. But they're going to really struggle to get these overtakes. Oh no, look at the grip. Look at the grip of Dennis. And he's already going to go for it. Strategy needs to get a move on as well. Here comes Jeremy and Maxibot once again. TTL Nick getting involved. And that is Reese and Dennis. Reese is trying to hold up Dennis for dear life. Nothing B right wants to get involved in there. And Dennis will try and go round the outside. He's going to have a lot more grip than the Williams. The Williams really pushing him to the limits. And Dennis has gone off track. And through goes B right. The Ferrari driver. Strategy gets a 3-second time penalty. And that is very tasty between Reese and Dennis. And Reese definitely doing his best to hold him off. And Dennis is out. Reese is into the wall. What the hell is that? Dennis and Reese. Awful, awful racing. What is that? There was just no need for that battle. There was really no need for that battle. Safety car is out here in Silverstone. Lewis, it did. Dennis, don't do that. Let me speak to you, please. I've never seen you this angry. Let me speak to you. Let me get it reported, please. Because if you leave, a driver doesn't get punished for anything. So just calm down. Take a second, Dennis. I will speak to you straight after the race. It just looked very aggressive for no reason. Yeah, Dennis, I did see it. There was no need for it. I know, I can see. I did see it. It looked very... But I don't want to comment on it because I've not seen 2 point of views. So if I say something, you know what I mean? If I comment on it and it's wrong, I don't want to be like I'm punishing drivers live on stream. So I don't know what happened because I didn't see anything. So... But I just know that it was very hard racing from Reese as well. So we will get that checked in as well. So all the drivers into the pit lane for them fresh softs, and this is absolutely killed Strategy. Well, actually, Strategy is into the lead of the Silverstone Grand Prix. Strategy is into the lead. Wow. Right, 1 second, guys. Yeah, Bradders, send your... Just report the incident, mate, and send your POV. So, safety car is out. All the drivers will be grouped back up. The only problem is Strategy's got a time penalty, and his tyres will definitely be feeling the heat by the end of the race. XD Paco in P2, Maxi Walk. Jeremy's got a time penalty as well, so that could come back to bite these drivers at the end. Just report. Yeah, just report everything, mate. If you're involved in it, so just get it reported and we'll look into it. Sorry, guys. So I've just watched the clip of the incident and I still can't tell whose fault it is. So I'll just wait for the onboards. So, safety car will be in this lap. All the drivers are back grouped up. And both of the McLarens are out of this Grand Prix. This is going to be a fascinating end to the race. Safety car is in this lap and we're going to go back racing. I think TTL Nick has not made a bad decision here being on the mediums. But both McLarens out of this race. It is the British driver of Strategy that leads. He does have a time penalty though. So he will control the restart and control the pace. And he's gone. He's gone for it. He just backed the pack up and then just put his foot down. And Strategy has gone, and he's about 8 attempts clear of XD Paco, but XD Paco will definitely start to get a move on. The two Ferraris in P7 and P8. But this could be a fascinating end to this race. Jord, just put exclamation mark Discord in the chat, mate. They'll send you a link and just come and join the league. We have a few divisions depending on what pace you are, and we'll get it sorted for you. So Strategy leads The Alpine of Jeremy is in a podium position. He does have a time penalty though. Here comes Reese on Merckx. He will switch it down the inside. What a move from Reese. The pole sitter up to P11. Yeah, no worries, mate. So, strategy, your race leader, but XD Paco is all over the rear diffuser. Oster gets a 3-second time penalty. This is going to be extremely close. XD Paco will try and go for the move as they go up towards Stowe. And it is XD Paco down the hanger straight, who is back into the lead of the Silverstone Grand Prix. Oster goes for a move on the Scuderia Ferrari of Jack. Jack goes out wide, so does Henke, and gets a 3-second time penalty. That's now 13 seconds for the Kick Sauber. Strategy still in P2. If he can just stay out in front for a little bit, he's still on for a good result. I've turned my headset down so I can't hear the game volume. Just bear with me. There we go. So XD Paco with 4 laps to go. He's your race leader. F1 Lexi is going to try and make a move on the sister car of TTL Nick in the RB. Down towards Brooklands they go. Red Bull on the left. V-Cab on the right. Into Luffield at turn 7. But it is F1 Lexi that goes out in front at the moment. TTL Nick, they have a little coming together. And F1 Lexi is round. Oh, he retires on track and leaves the session. I think that's the second time he's been wiped out today. F1 Lexi, for very similar reasons. You've got a feel for him. Oster trying to make the move on the other Ferrari. So there was an incident, and there goes B right on TTL Nick. The Ferrari drive up towards Stowe. Reese will go for a move on Jack as well. And through goes Reese and up to B8. Strategy has retaken the lead here. Oh, that is TTL Nick. He's losing positions. Oh, the Mercedes gets clattered as well. That's Cryptic Soul. Bradders goes through. Merckx is into the top 10. And it is drama at the end here in Silverstone. Thank you up to P8. That is Strategy and XD Paco. Strategy just staying in front. And Jeremy does not want to get held up in this fight because it means he will lose time to the drivers behind, and he can't afford to do that with a 3-second time penalty. So Strategy in the Haas leading. Oster in the other Haas is up to P5 and through on B right. Maxi Block in the Williams in P4 without a time penalty, provisionally P2. Reese all over the back of the 3-time world champion of P right in that Ferrari. You've got TTL Nick, who's still in the points, but down to P10. Bradders in the Alpine all over the Mercedes of UFRL. Merckx down towards Maggots and Beckett they go. So, XD Paco will look for another move with that DRS enabled. There's been no rain here. B right will make another move on Oster and the Haas, and Reese will force his way through as well. Oster will come back at him. Reese goes out wide, and he does get a penalty and backs out of the move. Oh, and Henke's round. He clatters into TTL Nick. Maybe caught him off guard when Reese braked early there. Very good of Reese to just back out really early and let him squabble in front and just got the position back free of charge. They are still, they're actually gaining time here. Strategy, Paco and Jeremy are getting further and further away from B right. B right needs to put his foot down here because he's going to lose a podium at this rate. And Strategy will move through. XD Paco on Strategy. Senjo is round again for the 3rd time this race. Strategy might even be able to keep a podium, but he needs to be strategic about this. Reese is through on Oster. Yeah, it did actually, Jay, you're right. TTL Nick back up to P8. So, Reese in P6 at the moment. Jack with another time penalty. B Right is getting further and further away. It's now 2.3, 2.5. And here comes Jeremy. Will he go for the move? Strategy is going to go for the move though. On lap 24. Just 2 laps to go. And it is Strategy and XD Paco. Strategy moves in a little bit early, loses the race. That might have helped the Ferrari. Bradders is through on Jack and up to P10. Bradders needs to finish in the top 10. I think he's got a penalty that he needs to take, but you have to finish in the top 10 to clear it off. So he will want a top 10 finish anyway. Reese trying to go for a move on B Right. You've got Ulster all over the back of him as well. That is Reese that is through. And the Williams driver. Ulster's going to try and go down the inside of Brooklands. And the Ferrari B Right just leaving space into Luffield. Good racing. TTL Nick will try and capitalise on the Ferrari. TTL Nick, nearly hits the wheels of the Ferrari. It's getting very tense. And that is Jack that maybe had a mistake. B Right and TTL Nick still squabbling down towards Maggots and Beckett. Goes out wide there, B Right, very lucky not to get a penalty. Here comes XD Paco, he's going to back out. XD Paco is going to back out. So, at the moment, it looks like it is XD Paco that will win this race. Maxibot will finish second, and Strategy will finish third. Ulster is through on Reese. TTL Nick will start to feel the benefits of their mediums now. So, XD Paco on the very last lap of this Grand Prix here in Britain. It is Strategy that leads, but with that time penalty, I don't know if that time penalty might get removed though. I know that he got it when there was a collision in front of him with like B Right and someone else, I think. So, Max Bock in the Williams will go up the inside of Jeremy. But Jeremy needs to be careful here. Oh, Maxibot's made a mistake. Jeremy's gone back through. Maxibot needs to be patient. He's not got a time penalty. He's provisionally P2 at the moment. He's risking it all for no benefit in his final standings. So Jeremy just needs to stay with him because he's got a gap of about 3 seconds to Nick, which means he will finish P4. So he will stay where he's finishing at the moment. B Right all over the back. XD Paco is going to go for the move on Strategy. Up towards Stowe we go. Strategy, what a race. It's so unfortunate he's got a penalty. But on the very last lap here in Silverstone, XD Paco is through and into the lead of this race. Ulster is through at the inside of B Right, but XD Paco, the man from the Netherlands, comes through to win the British Grand Prix. Strategy will get a podium as he finishes P3. Maximot P2. Jeremy does finish P5. Wow. There was a few penalties. But it is Jeremy with a great result. Bradders ends up P7 as well. Reese all the way down to P14. He must have had a mistake. He must have had a collision at the end of this race. Because he was on for P7. He's had a huge collision at the end of this Grand Prix. So let's go through the final standings. Oh, please don't do this. If it does, if anybody can get it. No, there we go. I'm going to skip it so I can go straight to it. So XD Paco is your race winner. Maxibot finishes in P2 and Strategy in P3. TTNAC in P4, Jeremy in P5, B Right P6, Bradders P7, Ulster P8, Mertz P9, Cryptic Salt P10. Then comes Jack, Senjo, Henke, Reese, F1, Lexi, Dennis and Sarple. 3 DNFs, 1 Red Bull, 2 McLarens. Let's just get the tyre choices. Strategy, the only driver on the grid that did the 2-stop, and it paid off because he got a podium. Yeah, it was really well done, that. Henke getting the fastest lap, but I don't know what happened to Norway today because Senjo and Henke both finishing outside the points. You don't see that every day. Get the race director just in case somebody forgets it. They can come back on stream and screenshot it. Right, I've got a lot to deal with. Yeah, we're doing interviews.